I'm going to let you talk about this coming up. This is something that you're passionate about. I have not touched, but I can see it growing because there's more and more people starting to talk about it. So this is Indie GoGo Comics. And you want to first, I think we first explain what actually Indie GoGo
Yeah,
is.
Indiegogo is just a crowdfunding source like Kickstarter, and there's also some on Kickstarter that I'll go over to on another stream. Indiegogo, I mean, it's not just comics. You can crowdfund anything on there. But right now it seems the go-to place for a lot of indie creators to go and create a platform for their comic or their IP, their idea. So there's new ones all the time. I've crowdfunded several, and some of them aren't that great. Some of them have pretty color or covers, and you buy the product, and it's a little lacking.
Mm.
But it's still nice to help a creator out. But these look really good.
So you're going
That
to
we're gonna get
basically talk
into.
about the ones that you think have promise, not just for these first so many comics, but hopefully a future story.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, two or about three of these I want to try to promote because I think they look really good. I don't have the product yet. We don't, but they're not quite funded. So if we can try to help them reach their funding goal, that would be really good. And
All
then there's a few that have already reached their funding goal and they're still available to purchase on Indiegogo, because sometimes after so long of a period, the campaign, they call it, closes,
okay.
and then you can't get that book unless somebody's selling it on eBay. It's a limited time. So, uh, but the last three are still available that we're going to want to talk about, or four. But let's start with this one, Thrashing About, Cobalt Thrashing About.
Okay.
So it's your basic vigilante storyline, but just look at the artwork here. I mean, this character is striking. Um, I mean, look at that cover. You can tell these guys know what they're doing.
It reminds me a little bit just looking at it. Oh, I can't even think of what the video game was that I used to play that had really the like you can see the city behind him is really bright colors and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And the
I
video
want to
game
sit.
was really
Yeah,
good, but I can't remember what video game that was now.
I think I know what. I can almost visualize the one you're thinking about, I bet, and I can't remember the name of it either. But so, guys, if you are interested, go on Indiegogo, look up Cobalt Thrashing About. Last I checked, it's close to 70% funded, with still quite a few days left. I mean, not quite a month, but hopefully it'll get funded. I suspect it will. It's on a good trajectory, but I recommend giving that one a chance.
And so basically, when you say it hasn't got all the way funded yet, the team of the writer and the graphic artist,
Yeah.
they have a number that they have to get to before they can get to start the publishing of the book.
Yeah, I mean, there is some differences between how Kickstarter and Indiegogo operate, but Indiegogo, they have two ways to do it. You can do a flex goal, which means you don't necessarily have to hit your number. But if you say it's a fixed goal,
Okay.
then you need, and I'm pretty sure this one's a fixed goal, which means you have to get the minimum requirement of that fixed goal, or it doesn't get funded
Okay.
and you get your money back.
Interesting.
So, if it doesn't happen, you get your money back.
All right. So you want to go to the next one?
Yeah, this one's called Ninja Blast. It's a little bit of an anime video game kind of combo. I think it looks interesting. I mostly like it because of the creator, Fatal J. He's got his own podcast. He's on Thinking Critical a lot. He's a massively huge Snyder Cut fan, just like massive. Oh, it's just Snyder fan in general, but he's really funny. I just think he's a funny guy. And so
I
I
don't
was
see
hoping to.
Snyder in this. I mean, I don't see that style at all in that
No, no,
comic.
but he's just a Snyder super fan. And but yeah, I think the guy's really funny, and I think this looks really intriguing and fun. So he just launched it a couple of days ago, and I think it's probably 30% funded, so it's pretty new. But go check it out. I think he will too. He's got enough of a following that it'll get funded.
Okay.
But it's good to spread the word around.
Yeah, always.
So yeah, the next one is looks more straight up superhero.
I like the look of this guy, actually.
Yeah,
And
I
this is the
think it
first
looks
time
really
I've
cool.
seen this guy.
Yeah, I mean, you can go on to Indiegogo and read the bio about it. This guy, I want to say he's pretty young. Oh gosh, if I get this wrong, I'm not. I think he's like a really young guy that's creating this. And he's wanting to have a whole universe of characters, which is ambitious.
Yeah.
But it looks good. I mean, this looks probably a little 10 years ago art style, but in a very, very good way. I mean, it's clean, it's clear, it's got good detail. I mean, the coloring's magnificent. So I think it's another, just basic superhero universe. Raptor is his name. Raptor, the preamble.
So does this
So
young guy, is he the writer and does he do the artwork also, or just one or the
a
other?
lot of these guys do both. And I'm
Okay.
not certain on this individual. A lot of them do both.
Wow, that's talent.
And yeah, and this was very the big style in the 90s with Image, and you had the superstar Marvel artists that left Marvel because they got tired of creating all these awesome characters and they didn't own them. And so Todd McFarlane was born, and Rob Liefeld. You had Spawn, and then Todd had just made Deadpool, but he didn't have any ownership in it.
Oh, wow.
So he created Youngblood. So all those guys left left Marvel and went to Image and started Image Comics, the biggest indie comic company in the planet. Still is, mostly. And so this is kind of in the style of those guys. They were the artist and the writer of those other characters. So
Ben Fowler just says Robert Littfield is an amazing writer.
oh yeah, okay, true story.
Okay. I don't
Ben,
know.
you gotta help me out with it. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, help me out, Ben.
Robert Littfield?
Or he's probably.
Liefeld?
Compared
to his art.
Ben's talking about Rob Liefeld. Ben is not a fan of Rob Liefeld and his art, so that's probably sarcasm.
Okay. Well, thanks for that sarcastic remark.
Yeah. So
you're saying these next
Raptor?
Okay, so those 3 are not funded yet.
Not
these
yet.
next 4 are already funded and going.
Yeah. And last thing I'll say about Raptor is it seems to be kind of slow, so I'm hoping it makes it. So, and it should. I've seen a product much inferior to it get funded pretty quick. So it's just all about marketing and getting into the right places. So because this thing should be funded already and then some. But yeah. Okay, the next one is something called Sovereign Wolf. It's funded. You can still get it on demand, they call it. Once a product is funded, you can continue to buy in, and then when it closes, the owner can keep it going.
Okay.
And they put it in demand. So this is basically just this, monsters fighting werewolves, kind of a superhero looking werewolf. A title called Sovereign Wolf. And I mean, just look at it. I think it looks
the artwork
super
looks
awesome.
Good.
Yeah. So, artist writer combo here. I think he's trying to create a whole monster world, kind of an underworld type setting of various werewolf clans fighting other kind of monsters.
He's going more monsters than actual what I would consider like superhero.
Yeah, I think it's monsters with a superhero twist. I mean, because look at him. He's kind of almost in an Iron Man type suit, but he's a werewolf.
Yeah.
So, so that one's cool. It's on demand. So check it out. So yeah, next is First Man by Andy Smith. So Andy Smith is a longtime artist, red hot in the 90s, done a lot of Marvel work. I don't know if Andy's done a lot of DC work, if any. If he has, I'm sure he has. I just can't think of it. But he's done other independent work throughout. In fact, that he created the first man. This book, I don't know if it was in the late '90s that he attempted this book. So yeah, it's exciting that he's got it back, and
The
he's
artwork
gonna.
looks good.
Yeah, yeah, he's very reminiscent of another artist, Bart Sears. I think they. Don't get me wrong, or don't kill me if I'm wrong about this. I think they kind of went to school together or trained together, in their artistic styles. But so yeah, he's really good. He sometimes streams a lot. He has his own channel, I think.
And I want to say this. You and I were both shocked, and actually more you, when we first opened up our Twitter account, Defenders of Comics. You noticed he started following us.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, wow, we got Andy Smith following us. That's pretty cool.
That is crazy. And then I
Yeah,
actually reached out to him tonight just to ask him some questions. And
yeah,
for somebody like that he answered them right away. There was like no real delay in the
yeah.
answer. And one of the things he was really excited about, I was like, we're going to talk about First Man tonight. And I was like, is there anything you want to say? And one
Yeah.
thing he said is he just sent the book to the printer today. And it
Oh
should have
wow.
it back in a couple weeks.
Yeah, so it's coming. It's fun to he's going to be sending it out, and he will probably have enough overstock that you can either get it through in demand, or sometimes these creators will create an eBay store and sell their overstock or overflow product on there.
And I'm glad you said that, because I said, here's a question I have for you. A question some of our viewers might have is it too late to purchase the book? And
Oh,
he
okay.
said,
Yeah.
he goes, it's in demand so they can get it.
Okay. Well, there you go. Go to Indiegogo, First Man, and you can get a copy. So
That's pretty
check it
cool.
out. It's really great art.
But if we ever get a chance, and I think we could with him, I would like to try to get, and I think that's a direction we can go with Defenders of Comics, is try to get these people and their information out more.
Yeah, that's really what I want to do. Even with our small channel as we grow it, to get some of these guys' product out there and support really quality work. There's a lot of guys already doing it. Ethan Van Sciver, of course, is the king of crowdfunding at this point. Famous DC artist, Green Lantern, Flash. He has Cyberfrog. He's a hot button for controversy because he's very opinionated, and I love it. And so his book Cyberfrog, he's had 2 issues, each over $1 million.
Wow.
He's had the third one called Rainbow the Brood. It's like close to 500,000. So he's extremely successful.
So, as a new person to Indiegogo, when you say book, is it comparable to like my comic book that I get, the just one issue, or is it more of a graphic novel type?
Yeah, various creators have higher page counts. When I talk about Ethan Van Sciver, it's probably the equivalent of like 2 books
Okay.
is what he's giving you, and he's going to probably do 2 a year.
Okay.
Now that sounds small, and it is compared to DC, who's putting out 1 a month, but his art's going to be that much better, and you're going to get glossy product. You're going to get all kinds of swag. You can get. He's making toys with his Cyberfrog and Salamandroid. So he's the exception. I mean, he's kind of the Todd McFarlane of crowdfunding right now. He's leading the charge, and there's a lot of other creators though that are really, really good, and those are the ones you kind of want to help
See,
push along too.
yeah. So you want to go to the next one?
Yeah, the next one, Death Shroud. So it's already out, guys. You can get it in demand. Pick it up. I mean, this guy looks awesome. I mean, visually, I don't even care what the story is. This is the type of book I'm like, I don't care. This guy looks amazing. Look at the guy. Look at the character. I love new characters. So this is exciting for me. So Death Shroud. pick it up. The art inside is every bit as good on the outside, or it's as good in the inside as it is on the outside. He's got Kyle Hotz and Brett Booth, who are big time artists. They did covers for him,
Wow.
And the art is phenomenal inside. So I mean, don't hesitate, just go get it.
Let's go. So you can get it in demand also, you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, you can go get it right now.
Nice.
So I can't recommend that one enough. Now, lastly, this guy is super talented, man.
That artwork is insane right here.
Look at this guy. He should be a superstar.
Can I say, just looking at it a little bit reminds me of some of the Wonder Man. Just
you mean Wonder Man from
yeah.
Marvel?
No, and I think just because of the red and stuff, but just that type
Oh,
of.
you mean like when he's got kind of his energy,
Yeah.
quality about him? Yeah, yeah. So let's see. Let's pull it up. It's Kyle Higgins, right? Is the creator of Starblades, if I'm saying it right.
What,
So
Starblades or the name? Starblades is right.
no, Starblades. Yeah. But check this out. I mean, this book is not out yet. It's fully funded. It's almost like $200,000. And he just recently partnered with Ethan Van Sciver to have. He was having trouble getting the book printed. I don't know what was going on, just with COVID, and
Oh.
so Ethan's using his printing company that he uses for his books, and is going to get the Starblades out very soon. But don't hesitate to buy it, because look at this guy's art. And this guy is deaf.
Really?
And mute.
Really?
So yeah. But he's primarily a colorist too. He does all kinds of coloring for other artists in their artwork.
It looks
But I mean,
fantastic.
this is a book you've got to dive into.
So when you say Star Blades, it's not just the one main character that we're seeing in the middle. It's all of them?
No, it's a team.
Okay.
I wish I could pull it up here. But yeah, if you guys want to, just go to Indiegogo and type in Starblades and go check it out.
So if
I mean,
they
they've got
want to do that, what are these books going to cost them?
there's always different tiers. You can get a digital. Most of them offer a digital option only, or you can get a digital and the hard copy. Then you can get. What happens too is when they have stretch goals.
Okay.
So let's say you have a minimum goal of $5,000, and then you might have a stretch goal of 8,000. So if you hit that goal, then another. They offer a exclusive poster, or if we hit 8,000, I can add 3 more pages to the book, or buttons, or other kind of swag. So they keep hitting these stretch goals, and as they do, you get more and more stuff.
Okay. I'm just looking at First Man right now and seeing what those different ones are.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So there's a lot more that we'll talk about, but those are some red hot ones that I think, a couple that are pretty new. Let's get them funded, and then, these new books are worthy of checking out because they're so darn good.
So, crazy question for you. Do any of these talented artists and talented writers, do they ever combine? Do they ever be like, let's combine our talents and do more? Or is this more of an individual kind of thing as they're going about?
Well, right now the crowdfunding is more individual. Like, a lot of them get together and stream together and help promote each other's books.
Okay.
But it's not like they're all gathering around and creating a universe. They're not like, hey, let's create a universe of characters like Image did, and do it like that. No, it's mostly like, hey, if I start doing that, it gets complicated. I'd rather, I can make a lot of money just making my own book, promoting my own, create, everything on my own. I get to take everything home, other
Right.
than the little bit you give to Indiegogo. Plus, there's shipping. A lot of it can get pretty expensive when you start getting into $200,000, $500,000. You're gonna kick out a substantial amount for shipping. But regardless, yeah, they're not doing that as of yet.
Okay. I mean, I can see benefits both ways. And, if you
Yeah,
would try to combine it, if you're only doing one or two a year, then you could stagger it to where the others are coming out.
yeah.
And now it's almost a full year of something's coming out.
Now I have seen a couple of the creators that are like good friends. Like they'll do a, hey, if we hit 20,000, we've got a short story that combines, Cyber Frog with Starblades.
Okay.
I mean, that's not happening, but yeah, they'll sometimes, hey, check it out. We're gonna have them team up for, the short story.
Hmm.
So they've done
Interesting.
a little bit of that, but they're not really creating like a whole universe. So
Gotcha. And I can understand why they wouldn't, because they basically got out of that.
exactly, yeah, they're kind of wanting just to focus on their own product and grow their own stuff, and then anything can happen, but it's easier just to manage yourself and your own book.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.